Guys, and welcome to the Bayern View. Now, I've got something special for you guys today, and it's going to be a preview, a Paris Saint-Germain versus Bayern Munich preview with Red and Blue. He's the PSG fan, amazing channel, amazing guy, lovely guy. So yeah, smash the likes, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully, you guys are going to enjoy this one. Good chat, good half an hour, 40-minute chat. So yeah, big up to everybody. Big up to him for having me on his channel. Make sure you go check that out. That'll be linked in the title and the description. And without further ado, let's get into this.
PSG versus Bayern Munich in the Parc des Princes, and so I'm joined by special guest, the Bayern View, return guest to the channel, to help us talk about this Bayern team and what we can expect, and really, build up the hype for this game. Welcome, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, pleasure. How excited are you for this game?
I mean, see, normally, right, I would be like a bit apprehensive for this game because PSG, are PSG, and they can score a good amount of goals against any team. But this Bayern team, as of now, a 15 out of 15. We haven't lost a game. We haven't drawn a game. We're smashing teams left, right, and center. We smashed Leverkusen yesterday 3-0. You know what I mean? So, yeah, 100% with what you said there, the two best teams in the world. And I actually think, is it, obviously we're getting to the predictions, but is it going to be, normally when like the best teams in the world go against each other, it could be like a boring game.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm like in my head. So like, obviously we're getting to the predictions in a little bit because I know you're going to ask me. But like, yeah, in my head, that's what I'm thinking, like what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because, I think like, two best team in Europe, I think most people would think that, apart from like, PR machine in Spain or like whatever that might be. But at the same time, like, honestly, like super impressed with the Bayern season so far. Like the 15 out of 15 is just like, it's a little bit scary to think of, even for PSG, because I think for us, we've had like really good games in the Champions League, but in the league, it hasn't been smooth sailing at all. And PSG, it's been a little bit of a game of like, just two different teams in two different competitions. So yeah, like I think probably like Bayern is a little bit more on form from that perspective.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But again, you still put a good amount of goals past most teams.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think for us as well, like. The question mark for PSG is also like in terms of injuries. We've had a lot, and we've certainly like paid the price for the Club World Cup, and for not having summer prep or anything like this. Right now, like honestly, I was just checking on Twitter just before coming on, because everyone has their heart stopping about Dembele and whether he's gonna play or not, and like he's still like it looked like he was still carrying a little bit of a knock coming out of the Nice game yesterday. Obviously it weighs out, so we do have some big players missing, and I think that puts us also a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, no, I have seen, from my perspective, good, of course. Never good that a player's injured, don't get it twisted, but like, in this sense that it helps us in that sense, puts us more in favor. So if you don't have him, I'll be happier. Because he is he's the pain in the backside to deal with. I can't lie.
Well, which I guess like slide us straight into individualities. Because I think like you guys, the squad is at full strength, and I know I haven't watched a lot of Bayern Munich because it's like so busy just watching PSG games already. I was catching up and like rewatching some of the games like in preparation for this, and just like. Man, like Harry Kane, like my God, like damn, he's good. Yeah, he's really, really at a high level right now.
Yeah, I think congrats to Dembele for the Ballon d'Or. Obviously, it's good that he actually won it when he deserved to win it and didn't get robbed like half the our players have been robbed in the past. But yeah, Harry Kane as a whole, he is the best striker in the world right now. And it's crazy as well because half the time he's not even playing that striker. So like last season on my channel, we were moaning. Well, I was moaning, just because obviously when you bring in a striker, you're expecting them to be up front and score goals. and he scored goals. Don't get it twisted, but at the same time, he was playing as a DM, and he's doing it now. And I think it's actually working under Vincent Kompany because it's crazy, and you'll see this as well in the game because obviously you'll be watching, and he will be at centre back at some point. He will be at DM at some point. He will be at centre attacking mid at some point, and he will be at striker at some point. It's kind of crazy how he hasn't run himself into the ground. He's not a spring chicken. He's not a young player that can run left, right, and centre. But he's quite literally a machine right now. Scoring in the big games, which is massive for Bayern because the game against Inter he didn't, and so on. But Harry Kane right now is amazing, absolutely amazing. And then to top it off, we've got Luis Diaz. He's not he's more of a hit or miss type player. He'll have a couple of opportunities that he'll miss, but he is still impactful in the team. Michael Olise is one of
I was gonna say I've got a soft spot for Olise as a Frenchman, but there's so much talent.
It seems like every single time he plays like a big club, no offense to anyone in the Bundesliga, but he likes to make their left back look funny. So it's going to be interesting with Nuno Mendes, because Nuno Mendes is a good left back. You know what I mean? This isn't a random left back. You know what I mean? So
no, it's a big game.
No, fully. And actually, Vincent Kompany's got Serge Gnabry playing really, really well at the 10, which is very interesting because
I was gonna ask actually about this and even about Harry Kane, because for us, Vitinha is also a player that's been shining super bright since last season, and he's really been one of the few really players who've stood their ground beginning of the season. And so I was wondering, do you see Harry? Because I know Harry Kane in a few games he's actually played as a number 10. So could that how do you think Kompany is going to be looking at reducing the influence of Vitinha? I know even coming out of the Club World Cup, he was really that one player that kind of allowed us sometimes to beat the press of Bayern Munich. So I know he's going to be high on the priority list for Kompany.
Yeah, no, 100. I think it's very important to win that midfield battle, because you do have a good midfield. You know what I mean? And again, I would take Vitinha in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? If you offered him to me, I'm snapping your hand clean off. You know what I mean? He's that good. And it's going to be interesting because he will dictate the game if we allow him to, and obviously we can't allow that for our benefit. But on how we've set up, I think we'll probably have Gnabry at the 10, most likely. Well, obviously Michael Olise on the right side, Luis Diaz left, and then obviously Harry Kane up top. But because of the way Gnabry plays, they'll all be into switching. So when Harry Kane's dropping deep, we'll have probably Gnabry at the striker. Luis Diaz can actually play striker as well. Obviously, he's not a number 9, but he can play there. They'll all be into switching. It was very surprising for me, though. I'll say it quickly because obviously we're talking about our game that's coming up, previewing it. But the Bayer Leverkusen game. Now, Bayer Leverkusen aren't the Leverkusen that won the league.
No, I know.
With Alonso and so on, with Wirtz and so on and so forth. But that lineup that he put out yesterday was crazy. Bro started Jackson and had Harry Kane on the bench. I don't mind it because he was resting him, and we need to rest him. But it was kind of crazy to see Jackson playing. If I'm being honest, with how with the form and so on. But that just means that the players trust Kompany, so I'm for it.
Yeah, I was rewatching. He also did. He played him as well against Dortmund, right?
Yeah,
Jackson. Yeah, that's why I was asking about Kane maybe dropping, because I know it's happened in a couple of big games.
Yeah, going into the summer transfer window before we got Diaz, obviously the main target was Florian Wirtz. Yeah. Obviously, we didn't get him, unfortunately. But one thing I was asking for was put Kane at the 10. And then, the money that they were asking for Wirtz, the money we actually spent on Diaz, so on, I would have loved to go and get Gyökeres. You know what I mean? I know it would have maybe been a bit overkill, but, why not?
Is there such a thing anyway?
Yeah. Like, look at the old PSG teams, and you obviously know this as a PSG fan. You had Zlatan and Cavani in one team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Kane will be all over the place. We have this joking community that he's a centre back. Straight up. So yeah.
And I wanted to ask as well, like I've seen like reports pop up in France. You guys have a new like up and coming kid in out of midfield, right? Carl something.
Yeah, Leonard Carl. Yeah. He's our young player.
Yeah. So is he gonna feature? Like, what kind of player is he? Because like I've seen a couple of reports, and like I've seen he scored a goal against Bruges in your last Champions League game. Yeah.
I would love for him to play. Don't get it twisted. I would, because that is a massive stage. And if Company was to play him, he would be put in massive, like that would show that there's something about him, you know?
Yeah.
Do I think he will play? Probably not, unless we are winning by a couple of goals.
Okay.
But yeah, if Company wants to go ballsy again and put Michael Elise at the 10, Carl on the right-hand side, I wouldn't mind it. You know, I really, really wouldn't mind it, because you know, sub him out. But personally, I don't think he will do that. But he is a. I've been watching him coming up through our youth ranks, and yeah, he's a special player.
Yeah.
So and he's still only 17 as well.
Yeah.
To be scoring some.
Hey, you don't know. We went and won in Barcelona with also like a 17-year-old kid playing out of nowhere, and like, you know, essentially like putting Koundé on the floor. It's just amazing to see. So, you know, crazier things have happened.
Yeah, no, and I'd be with it. I really would, because they would put big confidence into that player.
What about, like, very quickly, because I want to touch on a couple of PSG players as well, but like very quickly, I know like a lot of people say that like the weaker points of this Bayern team are at the back and like even in the midfield sometime. How do you feel? And like, has that been getting better? Because I know we talked about this when we talked during the Club World Cup. Yeah. What's the status now? Like, are players more settled?
Yeah, no, fully. You know, when we lost to Barcelona last season, in the actual Champions League, I was Company out and everything. He's fully turned me around, and he's fully turned the team around. It seems that we're playing with when we're in possession and out of possession, we're playing with a 2-2-6. So they are constantly just all together, which I think is why we've gone unbeaten so far. Because you know they are literally playing together. I do agree with you. I think we definitely could strengthen it in the defense and in the midfield, 100%. You know, Leon Goretzka, you know, he's not a spring chicken. You know, he was there when we won the Champions League 6 years ago. You know, Joshua Kimmich is still very important in that midfield. Pavlovic is another youngster. He does good as well. But our defense, I think something you could exploit from a Paris Saint-Germain perspective is Jonathan Tah's pace or lack of pace. Because he's not a fast centre back. So, and obviously you've got, you know, Doué, Bacola, so on. You've got some fast players. You know, so in that, Upamecano for me is one of the best centre backs in the world right now. I think what Company has got him doing is very, very important to this team. And
did he sign a new contract yet?
No, not yet. But I think it was very important for the club to put trust in Company and sign him on a brand new deal. And I think I think Upper will sign a deal. It's just to do with, I think everything is done, but the signing fee. Which is so annoying, because it's just the agents being greedy. Yeah.
They're just like waiting for the right comes window to announce, and I know how it goes.
Pain in the back.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, because like from a PSG perspective, I hear what you're saying, and like at the same time, like for me right now, I would have such a hard time giving you what our starting 11 is gonna be like. I think like defense is more or less settled, especially because like Zabarni, or recruit of the summer, is suspended for this game. So like the back four and the keeper, we know what's going on. Obviously, our two fullbacks at the moment, like Hakimi and Nuno Mendes, have been stellar so far this season. So that's really going to be an interesting one versus Olise and Luis Diaz. But then in midfield, Neves and Fabian Ruiz, they've just been coming back from injury. Like Fabian Ruiz, he played his first minutes in 2 months, like last game yesterday against Nice. So I'm really, really not sure he's going to be in a position to be in the starting 11. And then up front, like Doué is injured, Dembele, we don't really know. Kvara and Barcola have been playing, but they've been like really inconsistent in terms of form. So there's a lot of question mark within this PSG team, honestly.
Is Kvara fit?
Yeah, so he's fit. He's had a really good game against Nice yesterday. He was kind of the bright star in our attack. And obviously, he's the kind of player where like he doesn't suit up for a league game, but when he hears the Champions League music, he gets it going.
Yeah.
So he's one that we can count on at least. But Barcola has been so like he's played a lot of football and sometimes like not that great.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. Chances are like we're gonna play as a 9 with a kid from the academy called Mayulu. If you remember, he's the one who scored the 5th goal in the Champions League final. And he's what, like 18, 19-year-old kid from the academy, talented, but like it's not Dembele. So yeah, it's gonna be very different.
Yeah. No, I understand. What about your defense? Because Pacho again is amazing.
He's a monster.
Obviously, still got Marquinhos is obviously the experience in him. Who is he Ukrainian?
Yeah, Zabarny. He was one of the 2 central defenders from Bournemouth last season.
Oh, okay.
It's like the other one, Noishen, went to Real Madrid, and we picked up the second one. And he's like this big, like Ukrainian meaty, like big boy defender, really. Which is good to have, but yeah, he's taking a bit of time to settle into this PSG team. The partnership with Pacho isn't settled, and anyway, he took a red card against Leverkusen, so he's suspended. It's not gonna feature this time.
I think a lot of the thing with what people will think, it's midfield battle, this. I actually think the defenses could be very important in this game because you've got arguably the best 2 fullbacks in the world. Hakimi is just a joke straight up. I remember him when he was playing for Dortmund. And then obviously you've got Nuno Mendes the other side. So yes, our attack is amazing, but is it going to be amazing? And that's why I said at the start of this recording, could it be like one of these like dull games because we are so good, like both teams. I mean, one thing I would say, and I actually want to pose this question to you, it would be your keeper. Obviously, Donnarumma left.
Yeah,
is your keeper any good?
It's a big point of debate. So we took he's a young goalkeeper. I think he's like 22 or so. From Lille, he's like a really, really, really big prospect at the position, but he's had a little bit of a rough start in PSG. He's really great in terms of passing and distribution, which is something that Donnarumma was really bad at. Now, like, you can press him all you want. I mean, he's not Lamb just yet or anything like this, but like he's very comfortable with his feet and like his distribution is on point. So that's a big benefit for us. But in terms of shot stopping, he's made some big mistakes. So there's more and more PSG fans that are asking questions about him. He's young though, so it's kind of rough. Like, you pick up a prospect, like you shouldn't be expecting him to be Donnarumma within his first 2 months. Like, so we'll see. But he's not the strongest point of the team right now for sure.
Okay, so you're definitely going to need your defense to help him inside.
Yeah. And like the game against Barcelona, it's funny because he gets beaten a couple of times, and like there's 2 times where like defenders go back to the line and get the ball back on the line. So I think like the defenders are well aware of that as well.
Yeah. No.
But it's going to be interesting for you guys because I remember like we'll slide into like I guess the tactics part of it, but like I remember the Club World Cup game, and like honestly, like the press that we got from Bayern Munich was just like savage, like really savage. And I think back then, like we didn't have a goalkeeper as a resource to like be able to push the ball back, which we do have now. So I wonder how much that could change the game. Because I do expect, like, ultimately I do expect a similar kind of game with Bayern, like trying to be very aggressive and pushing back and so on. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see those little differences. Different keeper for us, Luis Diaz for you guys. I guess Company, like having the team more settled than where it was a few months ago. Yeah.
No, I'm with you. Obviously, if you're going to go on paper, your manager has won 2 Champions Leagues. You know what I mean? There is no buts or maybes about it. You can't really compare it that in that sense. I think the only thing I can really say is, and it will be similar to Luis Enrique, is the fact that like he's got his players on board to what his project is. You know what I mean? It's not they're playing for themselves or anything. Like I said earlier, when they're playing in a 2-2-6, pressing the hell out of teams, and scoring a ridiculous amount of goals. Like how many times this season Harry Kane hasn't been selfish, Luis Diaz hasn't been selfish, Michael Olise hasn't been selfish, because everyone's got an ego, you know what I mean, and they could go for goal themselves. We had Leroy Sané last season. The guy must have taken a good 50 shots and scored 10. You know what I mean? Like, so I am with you. Manager wise though, Company needs to get this right. You know what I mean? If we lose, we obviously get into that, but it's not going to be too disheartening. You know what I mean? Because it's not like we're playing bottom Ajax, for instance. Shout out to Ajax, but in general, we're not. It's not going to be like a shock because you are the current champions. You got to the final of the Club World Cup, and obviously it'll be disappointing if we lose because I want to continue this run. But yeah, manager wise, you can't really compare. Obviously, I would back my manager because that's my manager. But yeah, you can't really compare in that sense. I think the injuries will come into it. I really do.
Yeah. I don't think it's so much like, I guess like the title I've got is a bit misleading because I don't think it's so much a clash of managers, like, how far along the clubs are in terms of the project and like putting the team in the right shape and so on. And yeah, I do think you're right. I think like the injuries are going to play a lot because I do think, like Luis Enrique has had an extra season and he's already won the Champions League with his team. So he's like advanced in terms of what he's built. But at the same time, like, Company is making great strides and like the beginning of the season shows it, and we don't have all of our players. So it kind of levels the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree fully. And again, like if this was last season, going against you guys, it would have been, let's see what we can do. You know what I mean? Because Company had the players on side, but not like now, and it's crazy to think as well, like maybe this season we might see Jamal Musiala and Alphonso Davies come back as well. Which is bonkers. You know what I mean? But yeah, the clash, again, not necessarily clash of managers, but it is going to be interesting. The clash in the sense of very passionate managers, both of them. And is someone going to like try to? We see it with Pep Guardiola all the time. He tries to outdo the other manager. We've seen that fail in Champions League finals against Tuchel. You know what I mean? So are we just going to go into this game being simple and it's going to be you try this or you try that, or is it going to be someone try something stupid? You know what I mean?
No, and it's super interesting as well because, and like you were saying that earlier and like really caught my ear, it's like you guys playing in a 2-2-6 because this is exactly like the same kind of shape that we play as well. And like right now this season, like a big pet peeve of mine is that Luis Enrique has been experimenting with 3 at the back. So sometimes we play a 3-2-5 instead of 2-2-6 when in possession. And so, like those two coaches are essentially cut from the same cloth tactically. It's like the disciple of Guardiola who've pushed the model a bit further. And so I guess it's super interesting to see what they have in mind for each other because like they know what games the other plays because we play the same game. So they should be more able to adapt and kind of push back. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, I guess, on the tactical level.
Yeah, fully. I'm with you fully, 100%.
Anyway, so like, what's your? I mean, like, we can do like the score prediction at the end, but like, how do you expect this game to go? Like, what's your you said it could be a boring game, which I kind of like, I didn't even think about it, but yeah, you're completely right. Like, I hope it doesn't, but yeah.
Oh, 100. You can't have the two best teams in the competition, be having a boring game. I would love nothing, like my heart would say otherwise, but I would love nothing more than a back and forth game, like we've seen with Madrid and City, a couple of years ago, where it's you score, we score, so on and so forth.
I'll take a 4-4,
that would be
happy with that.
That would be nuts. Yeah, a good game of football from these two teams would be amazing. But for me, one thing that I'm looking forward to from this game, at the same time as being nervous, would definitely be how Company's going to go up against a massive club. You know what I mean? One of the big boys, because we played some good teams this season. But like I said, with Barca, and again, it's totally different because that was Company when he recently got the job, to Company that's had the job now, won the league, won a trophy, so on. So it is different. And again, the way he's got us present in that 2-2-6. But yes, I don't know. I really, really don't know. I think we cancel each other out. And then that's where it becomes a boring game. You know what I mean? I think it's very important that Harry Kane does turn up in this game. If we can try and take some long shots, if we can get them, with your keeper being less experienced, not bad, but less experienced. Why not? I would like if we could, it's going to sound corny, but just try our best rather than trying something stupid. You know what I mean? Because that would generally infuriate me if we were like, I don't know, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, like I don't want to see Guerrero playing at 10 because he played there against Leverkusen. I don't want to see that against PSG. You know what I mean? Like, do we need probably more defensive cover because of your attack? Yes, but that's for the wingers to get back. You know what I mean? Not for us to hurt ourselves out of the attack. You know what I mean? But overall, it should be a clash for it should, but sometimes that can go against each other. You know what I mean?
I think it's gonna be, like I said, like I didn't even consider the possibility of it like being a boring game because I think the two teams have just so much talent and so much going for them. It's kind of hard to imagine. And I think like both teams are also like so attack minded and like control minded. It's like it's not in the DNA of any team right now to just like sit at the back and kind of like hold back and wait for the game to end. I think ultimately as well, it's funny because in a way, like neither team really absolutely needs to win this game. I mean, I want to win it as well, but like we've already won against Barcelona in Barcelona, like or other like tier 1 game of the thing. So it's not where we qualify or not. It's not like where we finish top 2 or not. So like, whatever happens. Like I want the win because it's a big game and like you always want to win those games and we're at home as well. But at the same time, like if we get a draw and it's a good game, like even if we lose but we learn some stuff, like I can be fine with it. I mean, like last season we played you guys in the group phase and we lost, and like that didn't stop us to win it later. So it's like ultimately like it doesn't really matter that much in the grand scheme of things,
fully. I'm fully with it. And just looking at it now as well, like both teams played 3 games, we won. You've got more goals than us by 1. We've got less goals by 1. So it literally is 1 versus 2, which is crazy. Obviously, as of now, because obviously Arsenal, I think, play earlier in the day, so they actually could go top. But either way, we don't care about Arsenal. You know what I mean? Like that, 1 versus 2. It should be, like I said, a clash, an absolute clash.
Yeah, the good news that then like we can be sure there's going to be a winner because Arsenal is going to be number 2 at the end of the day anyway. So
fully. And this is one of the things as well. I wouldn't mind a draw in this game. I really wouldn't, because we do have some easier games coming up other than Arsenal. I think we've got 2 Belgian clubs, I believe. So like realistically, we've gone through our harder games, but for me, it's very important to get number 1 or 2 in like overall in the end, because they have changed the rules.
Yeah, I know.
With obviously getting the second leg at home until the final, which is very important with the season, going ahead, because you just don't know what's going to happen. So I think that would be very important. So I would love to win, but like I said, we definitely, I could see us cancelling each other out, but hopefully not.
Yeah. They tell you that, but like, let me tell you, then you go into like the stadium in England and so on. It's qualifiable, it's fine.
Yeah.
Go into Anfield and qualify. It's completely doable.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's just you just never know. Like, what was it we had last season? I think we had like 3 games which were like terrible, like scheduling wise. I mean, because we had, I think it was Barca, Frankfurt. No, Barca, Leverkusen, Frankfurt. And that was when Leverkusen were good, and obviously Frankfurt had their better players like Marmouche and so on then. So, scheduling wise, it would be nice, in that sense, where we could maybe go into a Champions League game and drop a couple of players. I wouldn't personally do that, because you don't want to be losing these ties, in the first leg. But no, I'm with you.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well with the change of rule. Like, you're completely right to mention it, because like even like a 1 goal scored or not, like, can make a difference in where you end up at the end of it. So you can't relax in any way. Like, you gotta be fighting all the way.
Yeah. Who else do you have, before we actually say our predictions? Who else do you have in the Champions League?
Oh, we've got PSG, like, we always have tough draws, but just because like you cannot face teams from your own country. So for us, it means like we always have our 2 English teams in there. We always have our Spanish teams in there. So like English teams, we've got Newcastle and Tottenham that we're gonna play. We're playing both of them at home, so that helps. And then we're going to go to Sporting, and we're going to go to Bilbao, I think, or Bilbao or Sociedad, northern Spain.
Okay. Yeah.
So not like, not impossible by any means, but also like, we're not going to Pavos or like any of the really like easy ones.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think, realistic. It's crazy. It's crazy to think, like, obviously me and you are doing this preview now for a game that's coming up, but it's crazy to think realistically we could end this stage as 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this game generally could be like bragging rights in that. Oh yeah, fingers crossed. 100%.
And then I'll bring you back for the 3rd time to the channel for the final in May.
Oh, fingers crossed, man. Budapest, please.
Be very happy with that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I would love. I need that number 7.
Yeah.
Being the same as Liverpool and having the Liverpool fans yapping is it's annoying. And then obviously we would draw with Milan. So because obviously no one's going to get with the PR team. No one's
yeah.
You know what I mean? So but yeah, no, that would be sick. Another final against PSG though would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be nice. We want our revenge.
Hey, you got the revenge in our stadium, remember?
Yeah, I know. I was like, something I was gonna say actually. It's too bad we're playing in Paris, because your stadium is just like home now for us.
And see, your fans ripped up our pitch as well.
Yeah, exactly. We got the grass back in Parc des Princes.
Turf just like at the pitch. To be fair, I think it needed renovating anyway.
Yeah, they always like change it at the end of the season anyway. But yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So what do you think? Like, let's talk score. What's your prediction?
Right, I'm gonna go with head and heart, and then I'll go in the end. I will go with 1. So head, I'm going with a 2-2 draw. Heart, I'm thinking Bayern win 4-2.
Yeah.
Now, every single time I say a team will score on us, and don't take this as as me going against you guys. Like, I thought we were going to beat Bayer Leverkusen 4-2. We smashed them 3-0. So there's not many scores that I've actually got right this season.
Yeah.
But I will go with Bayern winning 4-2.
I'm the same actually. Like my prediction for our own Bayer Leverkusen game, like I didn't see the 7-2 coming for some reason.
Yeah. No, I'm with
But
you.
it's funny. I was actually gonna say 2-2 as well. It's kind of like, a potential like logical result for it. Would love to get the win. I think if PSG win, like probably like by a 1-goal margin, so like a 2-1 or like a 3-2 of some kind. Because I don't think we've got as much firepower offensively right now than you guys have. So it would have to be a bit tighter.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you fully. So like, yeah, again, and I wouldn't be too upset with a draw. You know what I mean? Going into this game, you wouldn't really think to say that, but
yeah,
like we
I
said.
mean, I honestly, I don't even know how to predict for us in the Champions League anymore because, like I said, like we've been like we've had at this point like 1 defeat and like 3 or 4 draws in the French league, which is like we're still top of it but barely, which is just saying something in itself. And so every time the Champions League comes around, it's like, oh, is PSG ready for this? And like we're not playing that well and we're not dominating and so on. And then they go and win in Barcelona. So like, or like they beat Atlanta 5-0, like, or like smash Leverkusen. So I don't know how to predict the Champions League for us anymore.
No, I understand fully. And again, with Bayern, I don't know. Like, I'm fully with company, but like, is he going to try some like mad stuff? You know what I mean? Hopefully not. I really hope not. And with him dropping Kane in the Leverkusen game, I'm guessing he wants Kane to be fit and ready for this game. So, but yeah, going to your stadium, getting a win would be perfect. But if it's a draw, I wouldn't be too disarmed. But yeah, I will go with a 4-2 Bayern.
All right, we'll leave it at that then, man. Thanks so much for coming on. That was good.
Thanks for having me, man. So there we go, people. There we go. There is the preview done. That's what me and Red and Blue think. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm very interested to know what you guys think. Can't wait for this game. The boys need to turn up, like we said in this video. Yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, big up to everybody. Thank you for the constant support on the channel as always, my people. And until then, we're out. Come on, Bayern. We need this. Let's go.